Victoria's Auto Racing Hall of Fame is proud to announce Shockwave as their top sponsor in today's induction event at Olympic View Golf Course. Shockwave. Feel better, travel farther.
Committee would like to thank and welcome everybody here to the 2021-2022 luncheon and induction ceremony. We'll have lunch coming up at 1 o'clock today. We would also like to thank the Hall of Fame Committee, President Dave Ferguson, who you just heard from, Vice President George Jensen, Treasurer Debbie Rendell, the Secretary Rob Horn, Directors Dave Smith, Jim Mackay, Ken Osmond, Tracy Sesford, and Dave Ireland for looking after the website. And as mentioned, we'll have Cliff LeCain up here in a little bit to MC this afternoon's event. Of course, I'd like to thank all of them for their continued work to help out and, of course, get ready as well for the 2023 induction ceremony coming up next year. There's a silent auction over towards that corner of the room. That is going to close at 4:30. And unfortunately, in the 2 years since our last induction ceremony, we have lost a few members of our racing community in alphabetical order: Wayne Atkinson, Bill Bartley, Bill Bowden, Jim Caldwell, Harvey Chipper, Barb Cooper, Dick Hansen, Angie Haslam, Dave Horner, Fred Isaacson, Donnie Ireland, Frank Kiddo, Mark Mears, Neil Montgomery, Lloyd Mullally, Charlie Price, and Dave Quissy, John Robillard, Connie Smith, and Derek Stratford, of course, have all passed away, unfortunately, since we've had our last induction ceremony. We'd like to remember those names as part of the racing community here on Vancouver Island. Another note, next weekend out at the Speedway, we will have the Hall of Fame race for the iMod Modifieds. Tickets have been provided here thanks to Daryl from West Shore Motorsports Park. Daryl's, I think he's gone maybe to the washroom or something, of course, right when I want to point to him, the only time. Daryl, how about giving Daryl a round of applause for free tickets for next weekend's race? And I'll come again for supporting the Hall of Fame. And yeah, as mentioned, we'll have lunch coming up at 1 o'clock. We'll draw for tables for that, so make sure to keep track of your table number, and lunch will be served over in the corner. That'll be coming up shortly. Thanks, George. All right, everybody, we are going to get things rolling here with the presentations for the 2021 and 2022 Victoria Auto Racing Hall of Fame induction ceremonies. Thanks to everybody who managed to come out for today. Big thanks to the caterers for this evening, and thanks to Olympic View Golf Course for providing our buffet lunch. We want to give them a round of applause. Also like to thank Browns the Florist for creating these unique centerpieces that are on all of your tables this afternoon. I believe the centerpieces will be drawn as well as part of the door prizes, so you'll get a chance to have those and maybe take one of the table displays home with you at the end of the awards presentation. So without further ado, we'll hand things over to your MC for the awards portion from 100.3 Q, Cliff Kane. Take things away, Cliff.
Thank you, Cole. Good afternoon, everybody. It is great to be here. It's been 2 years, something called a pandemic. Kind of changed everything, didn't it? And it still is impacting a lot of us. And also, it took a lot away from us, including this event. But the good thing is that, George, this is first class here. This is really a good attendance. I'd like to acknowledge Cole, who introduced me here. I mentioned this last time I did this over at the Speedway. Or was it the Legion? I think it was at the Langford Legion last time we were together. And he is the future of broadcasting, and I am the past broadcasting. Cole doesn't even know how good he is. He is really good. He is very good. He works hard at what he does. He's great at the track. He's so on checks. He works with it occasionally. I know what that's all about. But he's doing, and I really at some point, I think in his career, I think he told me he's like 22, so he's really young. But I think at some point Cole might be on NASCAR broadcast, especially on radio. I really believe that he's that good. So good luck to him. The other thing I'd like to mention is that, and George and everybody on the committee, I think maybe you don't hear thank you enough, because this is a legendary sport in the Greater Victoria area. The people that are involved in this sport, love the people involved in the sport. That's why you're all still involved in the sport, or have been for many, many years. It is the people. It is always about the people. It has a long-standing tradition in Victoria. But the museum is one of those things where you make a choice in life. You either do something right or you don't do it at all. And it's happened here with the committee. The museum is so important. I know that there's going to be challenges coming up. I'm told things are going to be taken care of, that it will move forward, and great plans are coming up in the future. So please, a round of applause for the Hall of Fame committee. They're doing a great job. It just amazes me that year after, well, we missed a couple of years, but year after year, we continue to honor the greats in this sport in Victoria. And we're going to find a way to keep going. We're going to find a way to keep going. You people understand that. You're all strong believers in the sport, and we're going to get it done. And it's somebody was asking me, you're a busy club. What? I come out here because there's so many familiar faces, so many people. Has he? Speaking of familiar faces, and you and I go back, don't we?
Long way.
Like I was like 12 when I started out there, and you were already like 40.
43.
Remember it was the ID International Drivers Challenge?
Yeah.
Remember the trips to Seattle?
Yeah.
Like I was about like 19 years old, and you were warning me, take care of yourself, Cliff. Do you remember that? Good to see you, Hazzy.
Have a good day.
Yeah. We'll talk later. Well, I'll do all the talking, you can listen. Let's get started with our inductions here today. We'll start with the 2021 Pioneer Award, and that goes to, one of them goes to Don Laidlaw. At the age of 13, Don joined his parents to work at Western Speedway. His mom sold tickets, his dad was pit official, and Don took care of the scoreboard. That's the way it starts. It was during this time that he met Barry Goodwin, who introduced him to racetrack photography. It wasn't very so good. It was so good. Barry noticed Don's growing interest and took him under his wing, sharing some of the knowledge he had gained while photography at many tracks around the West Coast. Don became more interested as he learned all the information he was gaining from Barry, so with the money he earned from his paper route, he bought his first camera. Don gradually acquired a better understanding of photography and became more skillful with his camera. Ultimately, with Barry's guidance and encouragement, Don decided to be a professional race photographer. So in 1992, Wildlight was established. The problem was, he felt it was not the type of career that would pay enough to be realistic. I still say that about radio. And would lead to a lonely life on the road. As his real career comes to a close, we can still find Don at a racetrack behind the lens of a camera some 43 years later. Don is honored to have chosen to join the group of people who made Western Speedway, now known as West Shore Motorsport Park, mean so much to so many in the community. He feels it is a blessing to have been able to share the images from his camera for everyone to enjoy. The Victoria Auto Racing Hall of Fame welcomes Don Laidlaw as our pioneer for 2021. This certificate honors you for your contributions, service, and dedication to the sport. Don is away working out of town. George will present and accept his award.
Unfortunately, Don had to go. He's actually doing his thing. He's doing photography out of town. So I'd like to accept this for Don. And I have a video pictures coming up here that everybody can look at when the ceremonies continue. Don, as you know, is one of the best photographers out there. I've never seen anybody better capturing race cars and wildlife. If you ever go to his website and see his pictures, they're just absolutely phenomenal. So I'm proud to have this for Don Laidlaw.
You're pretty well spoken, George. Maybe you should be MC one year. What do you think? Okay, I think so. Bill Shire. Bill Shire began racing in the demo class at Western Speedway in the 1980s in his '66 Pontiac. After time in demos, he spent 3 or 4 years racing with Lloyd Wilson in the jalopy class. He went back driving demo cars and claimers for a few years, and after a while he decided he'd had enough of racing the cars. Instead, he started helping and sponsoring the TNT race team. Over the years, he sponsored various classes with names such as T. Laird, Jeremy McGinnis, Jamie Peakman, Tracy Sesford, Lloyd Wilson, Darren Propp, Al Hamill, Ken Longley, and many others. The itch to get behind the wheel got him once more. For 2 years, he drove demo trucks with Al Hamill. In 2007, Bill decided to have his own demo truck and won the championship that year. Then from 2008 until 2019, he jumped into a different truck. This time he worked with Rick Homer on the cement truck at the Speedway. The Victoria Auto Racing Hall of Fame welcomes Bill Shire as our pioneer for 2021. Congratulations to Bill Shire. Presenting the award is Dave Ferguson.
I'm very happy to be here this evening to quite a privilege receiving this Pioneer Award. My special thanks to Tracy Sesford for nominating me and to the executive for voting me in. As I look back to the past 40 years, I'm reminded how much I enjoy participating in exciting track activities and many special individuals. As I went on, I became part of racing, family, and forged a strong commitment to the track and managing racing community. The track years will remain with me even after the track is gone. In spite of my heartfelt sadness, I will continue to treasure these special memories.
This is your plaque that will be hung in the hall, and this is a certificate you keep, so you're facing. So we put this in the hall. Thanks.
Yeah, I love what he said about, thinking back to his days at the track and the memories. I'm at that stage in my life and my career, much like Hazzy, to think back at all the things that I've done and all the people that I've met, and you get to a certain stage of life where you really reflect back, and I'm at that right now, and I appreciate what you said, Bill, because I totally agree with that. It's so important to think back and acknowledge what's happened in the past. Now we're on to the blue. I was testing to see if you were following the script. Any of you young broadcasters, always check with the chair to make sure you're on the script. 2022 Pioneer Award. Rod Taggett, the legendary. He told me that, I just talked to him. Legendary Rod Taggett. He's been involved in auto racing for the better part of his life. A family trip to Western Speedway at age 8 brought him up close and personal with racing for the first time, and he's been hooked ever since. In 1984, at 10 years old, Rob got his first job selling programs. 5 years later, in 1989, he stepped up to the flag tower as assistant starter, monitoring the races and operating the lights from above. 1997, he was promoted to head starter and never looked back. His platform, just 15 feet above the track, gives him one of the best views of the action, and he's seen a lot of it over the years. Between home seasons at Western Speedway and stints on the NSRA and Dynamax circuits in the US for a few years, Rob says he's officiated upwards of 10,000 races. If you look closely, you might even spot him waving flags in the 2012 documentary Demo Dummies, or a 2019 episode of Rust Valley Restorers. A familiar face at the Speedway and a pillar within the auto racing community, Rob's dedication to his work ensures each race is run safely, fairly, and efficiently. But not every call is easy or popular. Sometimes he has to make calls even he doesn't like to make, and while Rod is always looking to give the benefit of the doubt, he also accepts that everyone makes mistakes, drivers, fans, assistants, MCs, even him. That's just part of an official's job, and it's a responsibility he's carried steadfastly for the last 32 years, all in service to the 4,000 fans who flock to the track every weekend for a little excitement and entertainment. The 2022 season will mark Rod's 33rd year in the Flag Tower. Like everyone, he has his favorite races he looks forward to each season, but for Rod, it's the people, there it is, the people that keep him coming back year after year after year. The drivers, the fans, the other track employees. It's the smell of race car fuel and burning tires. And of course, the friends he's made along the way. The auto racing community is a tight one. You all know that. For those who get it, racing is everything. It makes you feel at home. The Auto Racing Hall of Fame welcomes Rod Taggett as our pioneer for 2022. Ken Osmond, come up and thank you.
So this is yours. And this one's your home. I'm honored here to be inducted into the Victoria Auto Racing Hall of Fame this year for a Pioneer Award. I'd like to thank the Victoria Auto Racing Hall of Fame Committee. I'd like to thank Butch and Maureen Ben, Barry Rankin, George Wade, Bullet Bill Smith, Max Alstrom, Jackie O'Neill, Daryl Mitchley, Bailey Mitchley, Gerald Crocker, Bob Hasel, and all the officials, volunteers, and employees at Western Speedway throughout all the years, the drivers, their crews, the fans, and especially my family. Thank you.
Congratulations, Rod. Okay, blue coats. There you go. The 2021 inductees. Ed Broker. Ed Broker began his racing career at Western Speedway in 1987 at the age of 26, driving the 69T demo truck and finishing 4th for the season. His second season, he finished 2nd and was voted most improved driver in the truck class. The end of his 3rd season saw him with 1,294 points and his first demo truck championship. He became a force to be reckoned with when he took the demo truck championship again in 1990 with 1,238 points and a fast time of 20:48. His new track record beat the 20:73 set by Rick Hartley in 1988. 1991, Ready Eddie Brooker broke his own track record with 19:18, setting fast time 11 out of 14 events. Ed managed 9 main event victories and won the Pollard Cup. No driver in the history of LITRA had ever won 3 consecutive class championships. Ed broke his own track record again in 1992, coming in at 1978, also setting fast time 14 out of 15 races. He made track history once more with his 4th consecutive championship. Ed ended the season with a special award for being the first 4-time consecutive class champion, member of the year, McMaster's Cup, and the Darcy Kemp Memorial Cup. Ready Eddie parked his 79 Ford Short Box 302 4-barrel for the next 2 seasons to drive the number 49 1980 Chevy Malibu in the Thunder Car division. After 2 seasons, in cars, Ed returned to the trucks and went on to complete another clean sweep, adding those of 1990, 1991, 1992. Although 1996 brought another great season for Ed Broker, he decided that it was time to retire. Ready Eddie Brooker sold his truck to Dr. Death and took to the outdoors. No more oval tracks, no more drivers' meetings, no more checkered flags. Now it was about family, friends, quad trails, and fishing. When he was asked what some of his memorable moments of his racing were, he responded, "When I had a clean sweep, fast time, trophy dash, heat race, a feature win, and when I won Best Appearing Truck Contest." His most memorable season was 1993 when he set fast time 15 out of 15 starts. Ed had 89 career truck starts, 72 main event finishes. He had 62 fast times, 30 dash wins, 29 heats, 38 mains, main top 3, 72. Ed has these sponsors to thank: Integra Tire, formerly Big O, Just Heads Automobile Machine Shop Service, Capital Radiators, Pacific Western Brewing Company, Langford Janitorial Service, Coven Home Center, Marion Machine, and Pit Road Cafe. We are pleased to welcome Ed Broker into the Victoria Auto Racing Hall of Fame as our 2021 inductee. Ed is working out of town. Accepting the award is Troy Ferguson. Presenting the award jacket and plaque, Dave Ferguson and Jim McKay. That's official. No speech. Okay. '21 inductee, Gary Smith. At the age of three, Gary began his racing career in go-karts. He won his first trophy at the age of 4 and continued a successful karting career for 18 years, winning many local championships, back-to-back Northwest Gold Cup, and 4 IKF Grand National Championships. In 1986, Gary climbed into his first race car for the 200-lap enduro race at Western. Of the 117 cars that started the race, he finished 4th. The next enduro he entered, there were 86 cars, again, 4th. In 1990, he began driving an IMCA owned by Bill Zebiak. Gary won the points championship, Rookie of the Year, Driver of the Year at Western Speedway. At the end of the season, the team traveled to California and Arizona to compete in the Great Western Classic, running 8 races in 10 days. Gary finished 2nd in overall points after winning races at Lakeport Speedway and El Cajon Speedway. At the end of the 1992 season at Western Speedway, saw him once again with the season-high points. He also won the Island Series Points Championship after racing at Western, Cassidy, and Saratoga. Bill Vader brought the IMCA in 1993 and had Gary drive for the season. Once more, he had an excellent year, winning both Western and Cassidy Speedway Championships, as well as the Island Series Championship. You can see here a career that's moving like that. In 1994, not only did he win IMCA races at Evergreen and South Sound Speedways, he also drove a super modified for Jerry Van Trite in Boise, Idaho. When the event was rained out, he was offered a car to drive at Yakima, where he led 25 of the 35 laps before the motor blew. This is the same year Gary made his NASCAR debut at Monroe, racing against the likes of Bill Elliott, Harry Gant, Derek Cope, and other notables of the time. He led several laps and finished an impressive 6th. He drove the same car at Phoenix, again, placing 6th. Bill Vader had Gary drive for him in 1995 for a full season in the NASCAR Northwest Tour. There were 17 races, and he was third place in points by the end of the season. In 1996, he changed teams, ending that season with 4 top 5 and 7 top 10 finishes, driving in his first NASCAR Winston West race second. Following in his dad's footsteps in 1997, Gary drove in the NASCAR Winston West Series. He had wins in Tucson and Las Vegas. And throughout the season, he managed 9 top 5s, 11 top 10 finishes, which placed him third in overall points and Rookie of the Year. What an amazing campaign. The highlight of the year for Gary was being able to race against his dad, Roy, at Evergreen Speedway. Gary came in second, Roy finished 7th. In 1997 was the year he also competed in the Canada 200, placing 3rd. Gary drove for Bill McNally in 1998 in the Winston West Series. Kevin Harvick was champion, but Gary was 3rd overall. He was invited to race in Japan, a joint race between NASCAR, Winston Cup, Busch North, and Winston West. Although he finished 25th, he was honored to be the only Canadian driver invited by NASCAR. From 1999 through to 2000, he drove for Bernie Hilber on a limited basis in the Winston West Series. One of the races was the Canada 200, where he finished 3rd. In 2007, Cascar managed to be a Western for the Canada 200. Gary set fast time, finished 3rd. Gary's final Winston West race was in 2004 at Evergreen. He drove a Dick Midgley car for the race, which was in memory of his dad, the crew members of Roy's original crew. In 2008, Gary Isaacson had him drive a Wilcox winged sprint car to a 2nd place finish in the Daffodil Cup. Gary drove a West Coast sprint car for Brian McLeese in 2010 at South Sound Speedway, finishing with a win and 5th in points. Harvey Hogenboom owned the car Gary drove in 2012 for the full season in the Keg Late Model Series, ending 3rd in points. In 2019, Gary drove in 2 classes, Will Rock non-wing sprint car for Dave Smith, and Todd Hikes finishing 2nd in points, as well as winning a main event in the Keg Late Model. We come to 2021, and he continued to drive for Dave Smith and Todd in the Will Rock Series, where he won his last main event. He's paying it back now. Now, after becoming president of VIKA, he focused his full attention on promoting and introducing the youth on the island to go karting. Gary came full circle in his racing career, and that to me is so impressive. Wanting to put something back into the sport he had so much success with over a very successful career. It is our pleasure to welcome Gary Smith into the Victoria Auto Racing Hall of Fame as our 2021 inductee. Gary? We'll call up Dave Smith and Ron Horn.
Congratulations. Great. Thank you very much. There's a plaque. Yeah. Very nice.
Thank you. No, Gary, congratulations. You know, when I'm out there talking about you, I had so many memories of your dad, who was one of the nicest men I ever met in this sport, and our thoughts are with you for sure. And it's great to see you here today. Congratulations on your career.
Thank you to the Hall of Fame committee for recognizing me. When I was doing the slideshow here, I wanted to thank a lot of my car owners. Bill Bader's here, Bill Zebiak, and Wayne Walker. Those are the guys that got me started. Drove for a lot of people, I can't name them all today, but I also have to apologize. There's a lot of wrecked race cars up there in those pictures, not just the win. So there was a lot of hard times as well as the good times. So, you know, my grandfather and my uncle Jim Matthews got me started in karting really young. I think that helped me propel to success in other cars. You know, I drove open wheel stock cars. You know, I was able to win in every class that I raced in, so I was pretty proud of that. It's an honor to come into this Hall of Fame alongside of a lot of my heroes that I grew up watching. Roy Haslam, my dad, Surgeon, Kershaw, guys that you know, I looked up to as a kid, and eventually getting to race against wheel to wheel with some of the guys was pretty cool, right? That are in this Hall of Fame. So like I say, I just want to thank my family, my mom, my dad, my wife Sabrina, and Megan. Thank you.
You're good.
You know, when you're up there reeling off some of the names, Hazzy included, it brought back a lot of memories for me because very early in my career, when I was working at CFAX, I'd be out there throwing bread. I always remember that. But believe it or not, for the big races like the 200 and other big events, we did a post-race show. That shows you how big that was in that time. And I really probably didn't know really what I was doing, but I had a lot of fun with it. We would talk with the winner would come up to the press box and we'd interview them, and some very good memories. And that is, trust me, a long time ago. Okay. Jack Milner, 2021 inductee. Jack Milner started his racing career as a mechanic in 1957 for his brother Jim on the 1934 Ford with a V8 flathead engine racing at Western Speedway. The brothers also started racing at Grandview Bowl when it opened, racing Friday nights at Nanaimo, Saturday nights here in Victoria. Jim moved away for work in 1958, leaving the stock car to his brother Jack to race. Jack made the transition from mechanic to driver quickly, winning trophy dashes and main events at Grandview Bowl. His love of sport continued, and in 1959 he started to build a modified in his single garage at home. Jack and crew built a square tube frame, bent the tubing for the roll cage, installed a straight front axle and transverse leaf spring front and rear. I have no idea what I just read, but I hope you understand what I'm saying. Seriously, George, it's in front of me. I'm going to read it. A V8 engine would power the car with engine parts from Portland, Oregon. To save money, Jack ported his own heads, spending money in many evenings grinding in the garage. That makes sense, doesn't it? Okay, all right.
For everybody but you.
Yeah. I must admit I haven't spent too much time in my garage porting my own heads, but anyways, I'm sure that's okay. Sorry, George. In 1961, Jack wheeled a modified to a trophy dash win at Western Speedway. The officials thought the next week's race they would ask his wife to be trophy girl. Apparently they thought maybe that would stop Jack from winning the dash again. It didn't work, as Jack was presented his second in a row dash trophy by his lovely wife and has the picture to prove it. Jack traveled to many tracks in the Northwest, including Portland, Boise, and Monroe. One story Jack told while racing on the 5/8 mile at Monroe, it was so fast that at the end of the straights, the car would start to lift. Then he noticed that some of the cars had angled their roofs down at the front, while his roof was level. In 1965, Jack had a very exciting racing year, winning more trophy dashes and main events, leading up to him to becoming Mid-Island Racing Association A Modified Point Champion at Grandview, as well as winning the Roy White Memorial Trophy at Western Speedway. Jack lives an active retired life in Nanaimo with his wife and family. It is a pleasure to welcome Jack Milner into the Victoria Auto Racing Hall of Fame as a 2021 inductee. Ladies and gentlemen, Jack is not doing well. We wish him all the best. Accepting his award to his son, Rod Milner, and presenting the jacket and plaque is Dave Smith.
This actually looks like Jack too. He's very busy as a young man. I think it does with the kind of thing. We keep him involved with me. But we're ready to as well. Thank you.
Go ahead, Rod. Thanks for being here today, and hope your dad's doing all right. With all of our best wishes.
Thank you. My dad's doing just fine. He just doesn't like the spotlight or being recognized, I guess. Dave talked to him as recent as yesterday. I want to thank Dave Smith and Jerry Flesh for working on him so hard to provide the information, so I have the honor to accept it. Dave worked on him for years, trying to get the information out of him, so I guess you could put him forward for this honor. And finally, Dave and Jerry came to me and asked me if I would help. I talked to Jack and said, if you're not going to do it for yourself, do it for your kids, your grandkids, and your second or your great-grandkids, and promote this legacy that you wonderful people have carried on. And I thank you very much for doing that. And it's a great pleasure to be here and honored with this wonderful award. Thank you.
Right
You know, Rod, that
right
was
here,
well
right here,
said. It
Kate.
is really about the
Oh, God.
legacy and the family moving
Sorry.
forward. So.
Thank you.
Is this going to be on the World Wide Web?
It will. It will.
I'm going to blow it up. I'm going to blow up the World Wide Web with this.
Put you on TikTok.
Cut that out, please. I'm still recording. Okay. Now, it says here, George, a 20-minute break, right? 20 minutes, not 15 or 22. 20-minute break, right? Don't look at me. I got it. Oh, you do prize draws? You want to do some prize draws? Okay, so how am I going to do that? I don't. It says prize draws. The bar reopened. Attention, bar. I think he's watching me on his phone right now. Isn't that weird? So enjoy the show. So the bar is going to reopen for 20 minutes. So what are we giving away here?
Draw number.
We're giving away a hat right now? I better get going here. I only got 20 minutes. Check your numbers, folks. We're giving away a hat right here. 29, 29. You are a winner of a Cooper Tires hat. 29. Please hold back on your excitement, but you can run up if you want. 29. Congratulations. Thanks for being here. 44. 44. You went a hat. 44. 44. 44. What? That's what you want? Oh. All right. Has he? Right there. Yeah. A piece of art. You have that right side up? You don't know, do you? It might be that way, I don't know. So who donated this piece of art? Ken, thank you very much.
You can hang it any way you want.
You can hang it any way you want? Okay. 80. 80, you want some artwork. Imagine going to an auto racing banquet and coming home with artwork.
Might be old race car stuff. Perfect.
What's your name? Danny, you're a winner. Oh, we're giving away something else. What is this? Is it that? You're on the English side of it. Oh, it's a car wash kit. And we got that from
Island Muffler.
Island Muffler? Thank you, Island Muffler. Appreciate it. Thank you, Island Muffler. And your name is? Richard Graham. Thank you for your donation. 25. Car wash kit. 25. 10 pieces in this. Right here. 10. You are really excited about this, aren't you? No, you are. Yes, I do know who you are. Whoops. Okay. No, I meet a lot of people along the way, so sometimes I forget. All I can say is, I hope that woman was not a relative. Okay. We've got a hat. 67. His snapback. North Country Tire. 6'7". You have won a North Country Tire hat. 6'7".
It's not mine. I gotta get it from my handicap friend. You got no. I want.
Jerry Van Trite, legend in his own mind. he bought, you know what? He had like 50 tickets just so he could come up here and be acknowledged. What? Let's give away 2 sets of golf balls. We only have less than 20 minutes now. 45, 45. 2 sleeves, 45. 45. He's not here, or he bolted already. He got sick of the MC. What happened here? He's not here. We're going to redo. We're drawing. Okay, 24. Golf balls. 24. 24. This is not for you? You're the collector. Okay, well, your name is? Ty. Good to see you, Ty, and don't come up again. Thank you. Well, bye, Ty. Good seeing you. 141. 141. 141. 141. As a gracious host, I'm meeting you halfway. And your name is? What's your name, sir? Greg?
Yeah, I'm Roy and Al Smith's brother. I'm Jack Smith.
Oh, great to see you. Thank you for being here today. Nice to meet you.
Actually, Jack Smith is inducted into the Hall of Fame. That's not me. If I kick a spark plug, I pray for luck.
See, ladies and gentlemen, all you budding MCs, here's another example. Never give the mic up in the room. Okay. Where's Cole? Cole's going to learn that. Are we giving away rocks now? Wow. Jack Riley, thank you. Is there any chance we're going to extend the 20-minute limit here, or 23? Rocks.
Jack Riley is handicapped, and this is what he does to make money. So he donated a couple of rocks, but he's done artwork that he's done.
They're beautiful. They really are. That would take a lot of work. 23 going once, going twice, not available. 147, 147. Wow. You know, sometimes in a room like this, all it takes is giving away rocks. And that way, you do know it's not like $1,000. You love painted rocks. You have a collection. It was meant to be. There you go.
Do I get both?
Yes, you do. That's great. What do we got now? A camping chair. 131, 131. You want a camping chair? 131. Are you?
Oh, you can use it as a rack.
Yeah, you can retire the old chair now, right? Good. See, this is great today. We're just giving away stuff people need. We're done with everything? And the jackpot is, Dave? $225. Thank you. George? Thank you. I'm not going to look. $225. Congratulations to 0168724. 0168724.
Oh, no, will not.
Yes.
Well done.
Talk about a legend in the room, Norm Wilcox. Wow.
There you go. And there was only one ticket you bought.
That's it.
Frank's racing interests all started in 1970 at the age of 14. Frank would ride in the box of his Uncle Peter's 1966 Chev, step aside with the food supplies for the track concession. His Uncle Peter ran the concession back then, and Frank would head out every race day to help. His big job was to make popcorn and have it ready for the intermission. While the races were on, Frank would go to the grandstand entrance, watch until intermission, then run back and help with food service. He did this for a few years and was hooked on the thrill of noise, smell, and action. Great combination. Then it really started. Frank and a good friend, Tim Welsh, decided to build a couple of enduro cars. Frank had a 1961 Ford station wagon. They didn't do very well, so they decided to build a demo car in 1978. It was a 1971 Plymouth Sebring that had been crashed and removed from the street. Back then, the rules stated that the driver's door had to be filled with concrete for safety of the drivers, as they didn't have roll cages. He ran that car for 2 seasons until the car had no races left, so off to the crusher it went. In that time, Frank won 4 trophy dashes, 2 main event awards for best performance, and finished 3rd in his 1978 demo championship, even after fierce on-track battles with the likes of Rob Scott. Then things changed. Frank hooked up with longtime friend Kim Jennings. He crewed on the Superstock with Kim and crew guys Tony and Tim. At the time, Kim bought Darcy Primrose's 1966 Comet with Island Farms sponsorship. Ran 1 season. They all decided to rebody the old Comet and fitted a 1971 Torino body with the hope of better speed, but no such luck. They were new to the club and lots to figure out. Then Kim and his partner bought Joe Muspel's old 1973 big block Chevelle and completely redid it and updated the nose and body to a 1977 Chevelle Laguna and raced for 2 seasons. As I'm reading through this, I'm thinking, this is a lot of work. Oh my. Frank decided to go back to racing again in 1987, built a 1971 Chevelle for the new bomber class. Russ Lejeune put a cage in. Frank did not have a place to build it, so Butch Ben offered him the use of his shop on Wilkinson Road to complete the build. They had a great year in the class, winning many awards. At the year's end, while under the Victor Club, Dick Willoughby, Sportsman of the Year, Best Looking Bomber of the Year, finished in the top 10 for the year. The need for a faster car saw Frank and his crew at the time, Tony, Tim, Doug, and Robbie, all pitch in and had Russ Lejeune build a stock car quality street stock again. A new class and a step up for the Bombers. Frank had a successful year, Trophy Dash wins, a main win, several year-end awards, Best Looking Street Stock, First Class in Victoria Day Parade, Most Improved Driver Award, and finished 5th in points championship. The next season started, and the 1977 Nova was sold to Stu Gordon, who ran it as a stock car with great success. Then it was time to go faster, so Frank bought Bill Price's crashed Ford Mustang IMCA car. It was another new class and took a while to get going and get the car count up. At the end of the 2 years running in the Mustang, it was decided by the crew and Frank that they needed a faster, more competitive car. The need for speed. So back to Russ Lejeune. To get the latest technology, Russ had to share, and this was to become a super competitive class with a good car count. They had a lot of fun back then. They ventured on to run at the IMCA at Monroe against Alberta IMCA teams in the spirit of competition and finish off the year with a main event win and several Trophy Dash wins. The next year didn't start off so well, and the differences between the track promoter and Vitra, the club came to an end. Frank and the crew decided to boycott the track, and that left a bad taste for the 24-pack crew, so they all decided to pack it in. The car was sold to Bart Smith, and the team wrapped up. Through the years, Frank served as vice president to Bill Price and helped the Victor Club events. His body shop company always supported Western Speedway with signed sponsorship, and his company sponsored teams like Brian Roberts, the Woods Ski Boys, Caleb Van Brie, and a few others. Frank was always grateful to have a racetrack in our town and the great fans that supported and still support the track. After all the years, it seemed like the end of racing for Frank. Not so. A few years later, in 2009, Frank was back at Western, only now going in a straight line. He bought a 1991 Ford Mustang, modified it to go fast. He then had his son Ryan as co-pilot and was learning the ropes until he received his driver's license. Ryan took over the driving duties, and father and son campaigned the car at Mission Raceway, Port Alberni, and Fort McNeil. As history repeats itself, Frank and his son are working on their third drag car, always looking for more speed and better reactions and getting tuned up for another year of fun and friendship of all the other competitors. Ladies and gentlemen, it is a pleasure to welcome Frank Van Brie into the Victoria Auto Racing Hall of Fame as our 2022 inductee. Presenting the award jacket and plaque, George Jensen and Dave Ferguson. The need for speed, right? It was right there.
Wow. Well, I'm going to keep it short and sweet because I'm not really good at this. First off, I'd like to thank everyone who came out today to celebrate this induction of fellow racers and pioneers and ongoing work efforts of the Hall of Fame Committee to keep Victoria racing history alive. I'm hoping to be included and enter in the class of 2022 of Victoria Motorsports Hall of Fame and to be in the presence of so many great auto racing participants of the decades here in Victoria. As with many sports, it's a team that makes a difference. I could not have done it without the help of my crew, sponsors over the years, especially my brother Tony. who gave up countless hours, nights and weekends to provide me with some of the best looking race cars over the years and the need to keep the shine on for the season, as I tried to knock the corners off it every weekend. And another shout out to Tim Welsh, who's not here with us today, couldn't be here. He's the guy that worked tireless hours to keep the engines together and try to find horsepower, because we always wanted to go faster. It was always the goal. And also, over the years, I'd like to realize that I got recognized by a few people, one being Rocky, and my nickname back then was Hollywood, because our cars always looked so good, thanks to my brother. And we had chrome shop sponsors and things like that that helped us make a pretty nice car. And another nickname given to me, which I guess it's just who I am, that was by my so-called, is still a very good friend named Butch, who called me Skinny, who even got a driver's suit embossed with the name Skinny on it, because I was always a pretty good sized guy to get in and out of these cars. But we had a lot of fun. I would also like to thank Russ Lejeune, who helped us learn and grow in the sport and build us some very safe, well-engineered race cars, and many other racers who were there to assist and share their experiences and knowledge, who developed into long-lasting relationships and friendships over the years. Then there were some parties. Well, we're gonna look over that way over there. There were some of the best parties ever, and we had some good ones, and nobody can ever forget Haslam's house. After race parties, they were the best. We'll never forget those. So in closing, my years at the racetrack have been some of the best years of my life. I would never do it all over again. It still brings a twinkle to my spirit, and all the hours and the years we spend, and hope for many more years of drag racing at Western Speedway with my son and all our new straight line friends. Doesn't mean they're actually straight, but they like going straight. Looks like we'll have to find another place to build memories and have fun. Hopefully that's something that can happen for all of us, because I know that we're all racers deep inside. We all want to have a place to go and hang out and have friends and camaraderie. So in closing, thank you all very much, and I feel really honored. Thank you.
Another 2022 inductee, Dale Taylor. Dale has been involved in racing his whole 60 years, starting out with traveling around with his family to various Victoria Motor Sports Club events. His parents competed on the island. His love for and dedication to the sport has been fostered by his parents, Stuart and Judy, and supported by his sister Elaine, as well as his partner, Wendy. At age 9, Dale started getting in the itch. He begged his dad for a go-kart for 2 years until Stu caved. Dale started racing in go-karts in 1971 at age 11 and proceeded to win a championship. He also drove in some Victoria Motor Sports Club events, his dad's modified VW when he was 16, as well as the dune buggy he used to bounce on the hill climbs when he was younger. After graduating in 1978, Dale started his metal fabrication career with Dave Smith, building various race cars, including a NASCAR late model sportsman driven by Billy Hitchcock. Dale was 18 years old when he started racing in the stock car class in 1978, driving his 1967 Firebird. Dale quickly caught on to driving a stock car and was a top contender each night out. Dale was truly fortunate to have his dad, Stu, as his crew chief. They worked tirelessly building their own race cars from the ground up, including the engines. In 1979, Dale placed third overall in the stock car class. In 1980, his third year of driving, Dale swept opening night. At mid-season, he was the points leader and won the Best Looking Car Award. In 1981, he competed with 28 other stock cars and was 7th going into championship night. Stu received the Mechanic of the Year award. In 1982, Dale competed in the late model class and debuted his 1981 Camaro. Unfortunately, the first night out, his rear engine seal was leaking. The car was parked. He was a dash winner on his 22nd birthday, and his award was a cream pie in the face, courtesy of Robert Carlson. His excellent driving skills propelled him to a main event win on September 11th, second in the Fun 100 on September 4th. In 1983 was Dale's year to dominate. He won 6 main events, was the points leader for most of the season, and competed in the Canada 200. He won the Vitra Late Model Championship and received the free trip to Daytona. In 1984, the yellow Camaro supported the number 1 on the side. He had a close battle with Jim Matthews all season. Dale had 9-point lead at mid-season, which was the closest points battle in the Speedway's 30-year history. Dale moved up in the Pro Stock class next year, won the July Cup in '85, while Father Stu was Member of the Year. In August 1986, Dale got the lead on lap 5 and held on to win the 100-lap championship race. In 1987, Bobby Allison chose Dale's Pro Stock car to race in Saratoga. Dale wasn't sure if he wanted Bobby to drive the car or if Dale wanted to drive it and race against him. Dale's words to Bobby, "Try and keep it out of the fence." Bobby didn't win, but it was certainly an epic memory. Dale also wheeled the 00 Inca modified for Howie Hilton. Wow, just mentioning his name, that brings back a lot of memories. Howie Hilton around the track in quite a few races. Dale was the recipient of the Molson Pro Stock Sportsman of the Year award in 1993. In 1994, Dale started Taylor Custom Metal Craft and used his superior metal fabrication skills to craft and fix anything metal. Although Dale retired from driving, he's always been around lending a helping hand to other drivers. Dale has helped several drivers set up their cars and has been seen wheeling them around the oval to test them out and provide feedback. In the 90s, Dale subbed in for drivers when they couldn't make a race for some reason, including Rob Williams' Dodge stock car and Kelly Hunter's Chev. Dale was crewed for many years, including Billy O'Kell in sports cars, Ray Bowman. Dale lends a helping hand to fellow competitors with his excellent metal fabrication skills when they needed a fix on or off the track. July 18, 2011, Dale dug out his old racing suit from 1993 and got behind the wheel. He was crewing that for that year. Wendy finally got to see Dale race. Dale had some fun and earned some points for Cody, who went on to win the Rookie of the Year. Dale stepped up his involvement in racing in Notch when he was asked to be on Scott's team as the crew chief in the late 2000s. The team was highly successful, went on to win 5 championships. Dale moved on and joined Rendell Brothers Racing in 2014 as crew chief with driver Matt Mansell, who was the driver to beat and was a regular winner. The likes of Michael Haslam and Robbie Price also did a stint in the seat for the number 14 machine. The last few years, the incredibly talented driver Aaron Willison has been behind the wheel of the number 14 car. The team competed at Western Speedway as well as all over the Northwest in the NSRA Wing Sprints and King of the Wing events. In 2019, while crewing for Rendell Brothers Racing, Dale won the prestigious Denny Rand Memorial Award for Sportsmanship. In amongst the RBR races, Dale also crewed for David Smith in the Shockwave Motorsports cars in 2017 when they toured around and raced at tracks in Texas, New Mexico, California, Oregon, and Arizona. A very talented man for sure. It is a pleasure to welcome Dale Taylor into the Victoria Auto Racing Hall of Fame as our 2020 crew inductee. What a career, wow. A good one.
I'd just like to say that this guy looks exactly like a guy that plays for the Toronto Blue Jays baseball team, and he's putting his jacket on after he hit a home run.
I don't think he looks like Vladdy Guerrero, but maybe he does.
Thanks.
After all that, you have to set your words, right?
Well, I want to say it's been a great sport to be involved with. I'm glad my mom and dad put me into this sport. And thank you so much for all the support you have given to me over the years and the never-ending help with that. I want to thank my wife, Wendy, for the support she has given to me as far as all the racing that I've done in the time we've been together. I got a lot of friends that I've made throughout the time of my racing, and so many memories. I want to thank the committee for all the work they've done, and Tracy Sessford for the nomination. You guys all did a lot of work, and I really appreciate it. It's nice to be recognized for all the effort that's gone into this, and thank you.
One of the great things for me being at these events is I learn about everybody here and their accomplishments. And you know what Dale has accomplished in his career, very, very talented on and off the track. So let's hear it again for Dale Taylor. I was there every Saturday night doing a lot of different things. I remember being out on the track interviewing winners of races, probably talked to Hassie a few times. It was probably one of the greatest memories I have in my career, and I've done a lot of things. But the people that and a lot of them are in this room right now that I've met over the years in this sport of auto racing are the nicest people I have met in my career in Victoria, in all the sports. You're all to be congratulated for believing in the sport. I know there are some issues, but we're going to move forward and keep this great tradition of auto racing on the South Island alive. Congratulations to all of you. Thank you for being part of this event. It is so important. I look forward to seeing you all again last year and then next year. Oh, I got last year in my mind, right? Well, you need to say that. Talk to them right now.
Okay, everybody's wondering what's going on. Obviously, Daryl and the gang are looking for a spot to build a place or a new track. But the Hall of Fame is going to have its inductions from this day forward. It's not done. There will be another induction next year and the year after. We shall have a lot of people that have to be recognized. And that's the only way we can do it. And on another note, everybody's been wondering what's going to happen with all the paraphernalia in the hall. We have a company that is going to store it for us. So none of it's going to go astray. And it's going to be stored until something is done that we can relocate, or when the new track is built, we can have a hall there, or the museum there as well again. But the stuff will be in safekeeping for indefinitely. So that was a big relief. So thank you.
Just to go ahead with that a little bit farther, where the new building is being built down where the Hall of Fame is now, they are looking at putting the Hall of Fame and keeping it there, and also putting a restaurant out front so people can go down to that area and remember Western Speedway, have lunch, and go through the Hall of Fame down there. It's going to probably be a couple of years before this is done because of all the building and stuff that's going around. You can see what's going on down there. But it is very, very positive that this Hall of Fame will continue down there for now until future endeavors with another speedway or racetrack. On that hand, talking with Daryl Crocker, things are looking very positive for the new track. Within, hopefully, by September, they'll have some word out about it. At the end of September, when the track closes, we are given all the equipment that's there, the lights, all the stuff that's there. It's going forward to a new track. And you know what? We're racers. There will be a new track.
Guys, thanks so much for the update. That's really great information, and I'm glad you took the chance to tell everybody here because we all care. And again, I just want to leave on this note. I believe that life is a series of choices, And everybody on this committee is making a choice to be involved still in the museum and keeping alive the memory of all the great men and women that are in that Hall of Fame. So thank you again so much, and it's a choice, and you're making the right choice. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon, everybody. Thank you very much.